Hi everyone, welcome to the Celebrity Diaries. Whitney Houston was an American artist, maker, entertainer, and model nicknamed The Voice. She's one of the most successful music craftsmen ever, with more than 220 million records sold overall. Houston impacted numerous artists in famous music and was known for her strong, heartfelt vocals, spontaneous creation abilities, and utilization of gospel singing methods in popular music. She's had 11 #1 singles on the Billboard Hot 100 and is the only craftsman to have 7 continuous #1 singles on the outline. Her honors include 8 Grammy grants and 2 Emmy grants, 16 announcement music grants, and 28 Guinness World Records. Whitney Houston's acceptances incorporate the Grammy Lobby of Distinction twice, the New Jersey Corridor of Acclaim, the Stone. Furthermore, the Roll Lobby of Distinction, the Beat and Blues Music Corridor of Popularity, the Georgia Music Lobby of Acclaim, and the Public Vault at the Library of Congress in 2023. Drifter named her the second most prominent artist ever about Whitney Houston's initial life. Whitney Elizabeth Houston was brought into the world on August 9, 1963, at the New York Beth Israel Emergency Clinic, now the New York Beth Israel Clinical Center in New York, New Jersey. She was the most youthful offspring of Emily Houston and John Russell Houston Jr., who were brought into the world in 1920 and passed on in 2003. Whitney had 3 more seasoned siblings: fatherly stepbrother John III, who was brought into the world in 1943 and kicked the bucket in 2021, maternal relative Gary Laurel, a previous ballplayer and artist, and Michael Houston, a musician and street director. Whitney's mom, Houston, is a Grammy-winning gospel and soul vocalist, who is an individual from the Consumer Sisters and the organizer behind the Sweet Motivations, a well-known meeting vocal gathering that recorded foundation vocals for any semblance of Aretha Franklin, Jimi Hendrix, and Elvis Presley. And what's more, her dad, John Houston Jr., was a previous armed forces serviceman who later became a manager who worked for New York City Chairman Kenneth Gibson. Whitney Houston's folks were both African American on her mom's side. She was claimed to have an incomplete Dutch and local American family line. Likewise, through her mom, she was a first cousin of Achieve Vive Vest, Diane D. Warwick, as well as a far-off cousin of show vocalist Leontine Cost. Aretha Franklin turned into a privileged auntie, while Darlene Love later turned into Whitney's guardian through her dad, her incredible, extraordinary granddad, Jeremiah. Burke Sanderson was an American abolitionist and backer of the common and instructive freedoms of Black Americans during the mid-1800s. Whitney Houston has gone to Franklin Primary School now. Whitney E. Houston Foundation of Imaginative and Performing Expressions prior to moving to Mount St. Dominic Foundation by 6th grade. She was brought up in the Baptist Confidence by her folks and joined the congregation ensemble of the New Expectation Baptist Church in New York at 5 years old, where she additionally figured it out how to play the piano. She made her independent execution debut at New Expectation, singing the song Guide Me, Goodness Thou, and The Extraordinary Jehovah. At 12 years old, when she turned into a teen, she let her mom know that she needed to seek after a vocation in music. All through her high school years, Whitney would be shown how to sing by her mom, other than her cousins Diane, D.D. Warwick, and Aretha Franklin. Whitney Houston was likewise impacted by different vocalists, for example, Chaka Khan. Gladys Knight and Roberta Flack. Whitney was 5'7" and tall, or 1.73 m tall. Now about Whitney Houston's own life. When Whitney Houston was 16, she met Robin Crawford, then a university basketball player from Monmouth College, while both worked as guides at a young day camp in East Orange. The two turned out to be quick companions, and Whitney later portrayed Robin Crawford as the sister she never had. After Whitney graduated, they became flatmates in a high-rise in Woodbridge, minutes from East Orange. Soon after Whitney Houston endorsed Arista Records, Robin Crawford turned into her leader's right hand during Whitney's early distinction talk, estimating a sentiment among Whitney and Robin Crawford, which the two of them denied during a Period magazine interview in 1987. Robin conceded in her journals A Melody for Your Existence with Whitney Houston that their initial relationship incorporated some sexual action, yet halted before Whitney Houston marked a recording bargain. Robin stayed a nearby companion and representative of Houston's until 2000. All through the 1980s, Whitney Houston was sincerely connected to performer Jermaine Jackson, eatery visit Brad Johnson, entertainer Eddie Murphy, and American football star Randall Cunningham. She then, at that point, met R&B vocalist Bobby Brown at the 1989 Soul Train Music Grants. Following a 3-year romance, the two were hitched on July 18, 1992. The two vocalists every so often teamed up on melodies. Remembering the hit record Something for Normal, Bobby Brown would proceed to have a few spats with the law for smash driving, medication ownership, and battery, including some prison time. On April 4, 1993, Whitney Houston brought forth their little girl, Bobby Christina Brown, in a 1993 meeting with Barrera Walters. Whitney uncovered that she had an unsuccessful labor during the shooting of The Guardian. All through her marriage with Bobby Earthy Colored, they had a go at having one more child, with Whitney experiencing a few premature deliveries, remembering one for July 1994, and one more in December 1996. In December 2003, Bobby Brown was accused of battery following a squabble during which he took steps to beat Whitney and afterward attacked her. Police detailed that she had noticeable wounds to her face and September 2006, a year subsequent to being Bobby Brown, circulated Whitney Houston petitioned for legitimate detachment from Bobby Brown, later seeking legal separation the next month. The separation was conceded on April 24, 2007, with Whitney conceding Bobby was temperamental in supporting their high school little girl. Their girl Bobby Christina Brown passed away on July 26, 2015. She was the couple's lone child. About Whitney Houston's passing and burial service. Whitney Houston allegedly seemed tousled and flighty long before her demise on February 9, 2012. She visited vocalist Licker and Monica, along with Clive Davis, at their Practices for Davis pre-Grammy Grants party at the Beverly Hilton in Beverly Slopes that very day. She disclosed her last execution when she joined Kelly Cost in front of an audience in Hollywood, California, and sang Jesus Loves Me 2 days after the fact that on February 11, Whitney Houston was found oblivious in Site 434 at the Beverly Hilton. She was lowered in the bath when Beverly Slopes paramedics showed up around 3:30 p.m. They tracked down Whitney inert and did mouth-to-mouth. She was articulated dead at 3:55 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. The reason for death was not quickly known. However, the neighborhood police said there were no conspicuous indications of criminal expectation. A greeting just commemoration administration was held for Houston on February 18, 2012, at her home church, the New Expectation Baptist Church in New York, New Jersey. The assistance was planned for 2 hours, but it endured 4. Among the people who performed at the memorial service were Stevie Marvel, C.C. Winans, Alicia Keys, Kim Burrell, and R. Kelly. The exhibitions were scattered with psalms by the Congregational Ensemble and comments by Clive Davis. Whitney's record maker Kevin Costner, Ricky Excavator, her music chief Dionne Warwick, her cousin Ann Beam Watson, her safety officer for the past 11 years. Franklin was recorded on the program and was supposed to sing, but couldn't go to the assistance. Bobby Earthy left not long after the help started. Whitney Houston was laid to rest on February 19, 2012, in Fairview Burial Ground in Westfield, New Jersey, close to her dad, John Russell Houston, who had passed away in 2003. On April 22, 2012, the Los Angeles Province Coroner's Office detailed that Whitney Houston's passing was brought about by suffocating and the impacts of atherosclerotic coronary illness and cocaine use. The workplace said that how much cocaine was found in her body showed that she utilized a substance in practically no time before her demise, and toxicology results uncovered extra medications in her framework. Benad, Xanax, pot, and Flexeril. The way of death was recorded as a mishap about Whitney Houston's expert vocation. Whitney Houston started singing in chapel as a youngster and turned into a foundation entertainer while in secondary school. She was perhaps the earliest person of color to show up on the front of 17 in the wake of turning into a youngster model in 1981 with the direction of Arista Records administrator Clive Davis. Whitney Houston endorsed the name at 19 years old. Her initial 2 studio collections, Whitney Houston in 1985 and Whitney in 1987, both crested at number 1 on the Bulletin 200 and are among the top-rated collections ever. Hit singles from the collections, including How Might I Know, most notable Love All, and I Need to Hit the Dance Floor with Someone Who Loves Me. These all settled her as an impetus in the acknowledgement of dark female specialists on MTV for her 3rd studio collection. This Evening in 1990 yielded 2 bulletin-sweltering 100 number 1 singles, the title track and All the Man That I Want. Whitney Houston's version of the Star-Spangled Pennant at Super Bowl 25 of every 1,991 got boundless media inclusion. She made her acting presentation with the heartfelt thrill ride film The Guardian in 1992, which, in spite of its blended surveys, turned into the 10th most noteworthy netting film to that date. Its soundtrack won the Grammy Award for Collection of the Year and stayed the top-rated soundtrack collection ever. It produced numerous hit singles, including I Have Nothing, I'm Each Lady, and I Will Constantly Cherish You. The last option won the Grammy Award for Record of the Year, spent a record 14 weeks at the top of the Billboard Hot 100, and turned into the smash hit actual single by a lady in music history. In this manner, she proceeded to star in the movies Standing By to Breathe Out in 1995 and The Evangelist's Better Half in 1996, and she recorded their separate soundtracks. Thank you for watching this video.